Welcome to the DAZN Boxing Show presented by BetMGM. Chris Mannix alongside Barry Jones. Barry, we're going to take a look at some of the odds for this fight. Right now going in, Dmitry Bivol, pretty significant favorite, minus 400 to win this fight. Gilberto Ramirez, underdog, plus 300. How do you feel about those odds?
Yeah, I think you have to make Ramirez the underdog, but he's a live underdog. I have to say that. It seems weird that you're saying a 44-0 fighter is an underdog in any fight, to be fair, but I think Bivol is that good. He's shown in his career he's been clever, but certainly in the Canelo fight, in a big occasion, where he came up with maybe his best performance, in tactically, certainly his best performance. So it's a hard ask for Ramirez. He's going to be at his very best, but it's a great fight.
It's a great fight. The odds are not good enough for me to bet on Gilberto Ramirez because I think this fight is a good fight for Dmitry Bivol. What he's going to have to do is move in this fight. We know that. And we've seen Bivol do that before, like against Joe Smith a few years ago. Yeah. Joe Smith, a pure pressure fighter. Bivol got tagged late in that fight. Big shot, big right hand in the 11th round. But he still won that by lopsided decision. And if Gilberto Ramirez can't cut the ring off against Dmitry Bivol, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to wind up on the wrong end of a wide decision. And look, Gilberto is undefeated. He's 5-0 at light heavyweight, but he hasn't fought anyone on the level of Bivol at this point. And that's what concerns me the most, that this is a big, big step up in competition for Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah, I agree. It's the movements, everything. Bivol is that. And one thing with Bivol is he won't care about the crowd. He won't care about even impressing, to be fair. He's in a good fight only when the other guy forces the pace. So he'll just do what he has to do to win. And that in and out movement with the feet, and because he's always in the centre of his stance, he constantly has a good balance, which means he can fire whether he's going forward or in retreat. And that makes it difficult especially when he goes in and out with his feet, makes it difficult to mount an attack. So Ramirez, when he does come forward, he's a force. But he comes forward with a single jab. And to close the distance with a guy with good feet, you need that double jab. Now, he moves to the body well, Ramirez, and he moves around the body really well. He'll throw the shot and he'll pivot round to the right, and then he'll work away from the side of you. And it's hard for you to fire back. But getting to the target, as you already alluded to, getting to the target, first of all, is going to be his biggest problem. And probably, ultimately, the reason why he probably won't win the fight.
So if gamblers out there want to make some money, you can do it betting Bivol by knockout. Plus 350 in this one. Bivol has plenty of knockouts on his resume, but Ramirez is a bigger guy. He's probably going to come in 20 pounds heavier than him in this fight. What chance do you give Bivol of getting a stoppage?
If it is a stoppage, I would say late, and I would say that because Ramirez will try so hard to close the gap. And he'll be falling short with punches. And when you miss throwing punches, it drains your energy more than anything else. You get no satisfaction mentally and physically. It drains you. So I would say a late stoppage for Bivol might be a decent bet. But I would say the safest is always points with Bivol because he's just a clever guy who makes sure he doesn't get hit and he hits you. Yeah,
there's no question about that. And talking to Bivol's team all week long, they've told me different versions of we got to move. I feel like we're going to get the Dmitry Bivol that fought Joe Smith, or some version of it, where he's going to, win, score a lot of points, but not engage in the kind of firefight that could ultimately lead to a stoppage. So you remember, if you want to get a risk-free first bet and 1 year of DAZN absolutely free, head over to BetMGM right now. Now, before we go on to the undercard, let's check in with Adi Oladipo, who is standing by with the main event fighters.
What a fight we have Saturday night. It's one of those fights that you want to happen, but unfortunately with boxing sometimes you don't really get, but we get it this Saturday live on DAZN. Dmitry Bivol puts his WBA light heavyweight strap on the line against this man, the unbeaten Gilberto Ramirez, 44-0. Don't forget as well, the former WBO super middleweight champion. We were just speaking there, and we said this is a 50-50 fight. This is what boxing needs, big 50-50 fights.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, of course. That's the type of people need to see, and that's the type of fight we need to give to the fans. And I mean, the best has to fight the best, and people need to see those type of fights.
And you are one of the best out there. A lot of people have said that it's taken you so long to get these big opportunities. No one wants to fight you on a voluntary, so you've had to work your way to mandatory to get this opportunity. Why has it taken so long for you to get the big fights?
Well, I don't know, but I'm glad to be here right now. I did a 2-eliminator fight to get here, and I'm so glad for this big opportunity for me to do the statement this Saturday night, and I will take the belt. That's for sure. I've been preparing myself. I've been preparing my soul to take to take another soul this Saturday night and take the belt.
Do you think you've been avoided? There are a lot of fighters in boxing that I think 100% people don't want to fight them. Do you think you're one of those fighters that people have avoided over the years?
Well, I don't think that the fighters, we didn't avoid anyone. I think that
Fighters will fight, right? Yeah.
The promoters, sometimes they try to do something different, but it's business for them. But as a fighter, we want to fight with the best and fight each other, and that's all. We want the legacy. We want to be a legend, and that's the type of fight that we need to see.
Yeah, certainly. Final question. Give me a prediction for Saturday. How does it play out? Is it points? Are you going for the knockout? We know you've got the power. Your record says you've got power. He's got power as well. Do you think you can stop Bivol?
I think I can stop him. But who knows? I will try everything. I will try to hurt him. I will try to take everything have in my power to make the statement this Saturday, obviously. And I'm glad. I just want to say thank you. Muchas gracias a toda la gente por el apoyo. No se pierdan la pelea, noviembre 5 aquí en Abu Dhabi, DAZN, y nuevo campeón del mundo. Viva México, cabrones.
I wish I understood Spanish. What he said there sounded so wonderful. What I will say, though, is this. Someone's O has got to go on Saturday, 44-0. Gilberto Ramirez puts his unbeaten record on the line. Dmitry Bivol's also unbeaten. The WBA light heavyweight title, what a fight we have. Ramirez versus Bivol this Saturday, live on DAZN. The champ is here. We're joined by the WBA light heavyweight champ, Dmitry Bivol, takes on Gilberto Ramirez. This weekend, remember, is live on DAZN from a magnificent venue as well here in Abu Dhabi. How are you, Dmitry? You looking good?
I am good. I'm great. Looking forward to the fight the Saturday night.
You're so relaxed. Like, this is a big fight. It's going to be a hard fight. It's difficult, but you seem to be so calm.
I try to be. Of course, the fire is inside of me. I feel it, but I try to be relaxed, and I have to be stronger on Saturday night. I don't have just waste my energy and emotion.
You've had some tough fights in your career, some big fights. Obviously, the last fight was very, very big. Do you think this will be your toughest fight?
I told it on the press conference that I try to think about that this next fight, it's toughest fight in my career. It helps me to be focused, you know. And he's one of the toughest fight, I think, because my opponent is a great fighter. Yeah. He's tall, he's southpaw, he's confident, he's good.
Look, I don't want to look past Ramirez, but if you do beat Ramirez and you were offered Canelo or Beterbiev, which one do you take?
I told it before, my prefer. I want to move forward. Canelo, it's my past.
It's in the back.
You know? You can earn money, of course, it's great. I love money like everyone loves, but it's not my priority thing when I think about boxing, you know. I think about achieve something, and when you achieve something, money will come too.
Against Canelo, I saw so many different styles from you. You was on the back foot, you was on the front foot, you threw a lot of combinations. What can we expect from you on Saturday?
You know, I saw my kids fight. It was 1998 maybe, you know.
The amateur fights.
Amateur fights, yeah. And I saw it similar style, you know. It was more than 20 years. I tried to change to change many things, but similar Bivol, you know. I just want to be my best, my best version, and I want to show all my best sides.
And maybe your best will be good enough on Saturday. It should. The best Dmitry Bivol.
Yeah, I believe that if I show the best sides on Saturday night, I will win. I believe in that.
Yeah, so do I. So do I as well. Dmitry Bivol against Gilberto Ramirez this weekend. Remember, this Saturday, live on DAZN. He's wonderful. Can we get that belt? Can I have that belt? This wonderful, shiny, very heavy WBA light heavyweight belt will be on the line this Saturday, live on DAZN. Make sure you tune in for it. Heavy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's like going to the gym. Thank you.
All right, Barry, let's talk about the undercard. The co-main event might be the best fight of the night. Undisputed championship at 140 pounds. Jessica McCaskill against Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron coming in as a slight favorite, minus 150 right now. Jessica McCaskill at plus 138. How do you see that fight playing out?
It's a really good fight. It's crazy to see that Jessica McCaskill is an underdog in any fight, because she's been absolutely fantastic. She beat Cecilia Brackhouse at welterweight. Now she's back down to super lightweight, but coming down up and down in weights, I think that's why I made Cameron a slight favourite. But how did she stop McCaskill from just running all over her? That's the thing. No, Katie Taylor couldn't stop it. She had to fire off against the ropes quite often. You need a solid, hard jab to hold it up. I just think that Cameron does have a good jab, and the fact that McCaskill's gone up and down in weight might just mean Cameron just has enough in the tank to get over the line.
You're right that McCaskill has gone up and down in weight, but she's always been a natural 140-pounder. I mean, she fought Cecilia Brackhouse at under the 147-pound limit, so she has been eyeballing this weight class, 140, for some time now. And I just think since the loss to Katie Taylor, Jessica McCaskill, despite the fact that she's getting a little bit older, it feels like she's getting better. Like the Brackhouse performances were career best. Her last two were dominant. Her last fight against a much bigger fighter physically in Alma Ibarra, she got the stoppage. She made Alma Ibarra quit in the corner. She was begging to get out of that fight. So I'm seeing right now the best of Jessica McCaskill. Let me ask you this about Chantel Cameron. She has fluctuated in weight between fights. It's kind of conditioning's been something of an issue for her, or at least the weight has been something of an issue for her between fights. Can that be a factor in a fight like this?
I would say yes, a few months back or maybe a year ago. But her and Jamie Moore, her trainer, have had a real conversation, a real sit down. I think Jamie pretty much said to her, listen, we can't do this. This is not the 90s now where we all used to just blow up and do what we wanted to do and then just train for the fight. People live different now. You have to be a professional out of the ring. And I think she's done that. And I think that's where we'll see the change. But I think with McCaskill, I think about weights, you're right with the weights. I just worry that you put on a bit of weight. You want to put on a little bit of muscle when you're going up in weight to be strong enough. But I still think McCaskill's being disrespected. I think through women's boxing, she never gets mentioned in the conversation of Katie Taylor's and Carissa Shields, and I think that's madness. It's a great fight. Like I said, this will be the fight of the night. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think Chantel Cameron has to avoid banging with Jessica McCaskill, because I think that's the fight that McCaskill wants.
She needs a solid jab. You got to try and stop the attacks before they get any momentum, and a good solid left hand jab will do that. Theoretically, that is. You try and stop McCaskill. She takes a good shot as well, and her head movement's better than it used to be as well, coming forward. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a really intriguing fight.
Yeah, she's improving, no question about it. So it's rare that you get a major world title fight this deep on the card, but you've got Rakhimov against Barrett for the 130-pound title in the IBF. Rakhimov is a minus 300 favorite as we speak. Barrett, a little bit of an unknown in amongst even the hardcore boxing fans in a way. How do you see this fight playing out?
Well, I've covered most of Zelfa's career. Ironically, he's a fantastic boxer. He's athletic. He got a good jab, good movement. But Rakhimov is a level above. I feel. I think it's a really hard ask for Zelfa Barrett. Rakhimov is relentless, but with smart, because he keeps his hands up high. He looks like he's just straightforward. But actually, he's moving from side to side when he comes forward. And when he gets on you, he moves on the target, he pivots really quick, and he's behind you, and then you've got to turn to fire back, and that's when he gets you squared on. And the relentlessness of that, I think you need to be able to keep him at bay. And what we've seen in the Kiko Martinez fight with Zelfa Barrett, he struggled with an older Kiko Martinez, an older evergreen Kiko Martinez.
It's like the Lazarus of boxing.
It's crazy,
Kiko Martinez.
isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
But I think he might not. Rakhimov might be a bigger puncher as Martinez. But I think he might be cleverer with his attacks, so I think he closes the gap quite effectively, I think, and I think he should be a big favorite.
Yeah, Rakhimov more experienced on this level. He went the distance with Jojo Diaz in a draw in a recent 130-pound title fight. He's got Freddie Roach in his corner, and there are a few better offensive coaches in all of boxing than Freddie Roach. I like Rakhimov as the favorite in this fight. Galal Yafai, who Eddie Hearn has touted to be the best prospect in all of boxing, has gone all in on Galal Yafai. Big favorite in his fight against Garcia. Any reason to believe we might see Yafai have some trouble in this fight?
Yafai's hittable because he's so offensive. He sometimes forgets to move his head, so he can get hit. And in Garcia, you've got a guy who also wants to come forward. But I still think Yafai walks right through him. That's the thing. I think the fact that Garcia will want to meet him head on head will be to the detriment of Garcia's longevity in the ring as the fight goes on. So I think Yafai wins. How long it goes, just depends on how tough Garcia is.
Yeah, I think Yafai levels above. We'll see just how good a prospect he is. Eddie Hearn all in on Galal Yafai. Well, if you want to bet on any of these fights, head over to BetMGM and check us out on Saturday on DAZN.
The champion. Fearless. Hungry. Born for the bright lights.
Dmitry Bivol, boxing perfect fight.
The challenger.
Easy work for the big Mexican.
Ruthless.
44-0.
Relentless.
Unbeaten.
Ready for the challenge.
Ramirez has Dmitry Bivol on his mind.
On November 5th, undefeated rivals come face to face.
And now Bivol, hard right hand. Target practice, Ramirez. Bivol now picks up the pace.
Two perfect records. One must fall.